back and ready for more open tour. First game doesn't go the way that 7M would have liked to. But maybe this game is one they can take because they are against Sapphire, probably the underdog of the group. This is the game that they need to win, especially if they want to go through today to the round of 16.
Yes, effectively. And I don't think Sapphire won their first game against Dutch College League. I don't think they've won any game so far in the qualifier. No, they won once against Foxfire. They lost one against Foxfire as well, I think so. Anyways, that being said, they didn't win their first game against Dutch Community Team, as they're gonna now be facing off against PXP, and 7M really needs this win against Sapphire. If they don't find this win, it's gonna prove very difficult for them to continue through into the next round of 16. Of course, we're not there yet, but after a strong showing from PXP, I don't know. Imagine them going 3-0 in the groups now.
Yeah, it could be the next connecting esports, so you never know how that goes. However, Sapphire, it's an interesting team, and I say that just because we've looked at what these players play. And I want to touch on some things that we might expect from them, but from no one else, because no one plays that. And then I want to look especially to Zodra, the support. You know, we see a lot of supports playing the Nautilus, the Thresh, the Leona, anything. He is a Thresh favorite, definitely. But besides that, he has some of the weirdest champions that he plays on support. Like Anivia. He plays a lot of Anivia support, but also the Ornn and the Sion support. So, the question is it bad because it's off meta? Or is it like next level 5 head, 6 head, because nobody knows how to play against it and he has a lot of games on them? Bobacek?
Yeah, maybe he's just...
He's creating like the new meta.
Well, maybe he just plays weird things that people don't play against in solo queue or anywhere for that matter, which makes it hard to practice against and not really 100% sure what are the possibilities, what can this champion do, what is strong against this type of lane. Whereas, of course, the guys on the side of Sapphire play mostly against a little bit more normal lanes, so they can practice their weirdness against normal lanes and see what's strong, what works, and what doesn't. Of course, on the other side, there's a reason why certain things don't get played as much as others. But yeah, maybe Sapphire's here to prove us all wrong and to show us that their crazy weirdness is the new way.
Yeah, and
we'll have to see.
Don't forget, I mean, okay, in-game is one thing, if it works or not or anything. But if we look solo at the draft, it's really nice if you have some weird picks that you can put on the support tool. Because it does mean that they can potentially early draft the Anivia, Ornn, or Sion. And then just swap it around to the support role if they do not like the matchup that they are put in. And they can, like, counter whatever 7M is thinking what it's going to be. So draft-wise, you are really increasing your options here for the side of Sapphire. So we'll have to see if they're able to do that. But yeah, I'm just happy that we don't get to see the same champions all over again. Maybe we can see something cool. Or he just picks Thresh and then it's me. It's also possible.
Yeah, maybe we just see...
hyping him up and then pick Thresh.
Maybe we just see Gwen, Hecarim, Silas, Jinx, Thresh. Something fairly standard and no crazy picks. Which is fine as well. Of course, we're hoping to see some wonky stuff in the bottom lane. Things like Ashe, Sion. I mean, there's some possibilities there, right?
And
Ashe, Arrow, Sion,
I think it's
ult.
so weird that... I mean, okay, Ornn and Sion, usually if you play that, you have a Senna next to it. But Tess, he doesn't really play Senna at all. I mean, he's a Vayne main. If he's gonna play something that is comfortable, he's gonna play the Vayne. And that's just so weird, because normally you would really think, okay, it's gonna be fasting Senna, she's gonna get stacks, and you take the farm as tank and become super beefy, while not really have to have that in the top lane, since we spoke about top lane being more carry oriented in the current meta. But no, it's not like that. It's just he's gonna build support item and get the gold that way. So we'll see. And I also wonder how 7M is gonna anticipate on it for the bans, because what do you ban against a team like this? Are you afraid of these wacky picks that you're not really used to play against, or are you just gonna ban what's currently good, like the Akali, Gwen, Viego, all of those gems at the moment? So wonder how 7M has prepared for this match today.
Yeah, of course, Gwen and Akali are both champions that are possible picks regardless. And also Sapphire plays both. So taking those away is definitely possible, or picking them up yourself is definitely possible as well. And yeah, I'm assuming Akali is probably going to get banned, as it is something that Realistic plays a little bit. And it's just really strong at this point still, as we saw last week as well. So I'm just really... I'm just... Can you start draft, please? I want to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Team Sapphire, it is the underdog, but it's when we were preparing this, it was the game I was looking forward to most. I'm like, I want to see what these guys are playing. I want to see if it works, or if 7M is just gonna say, okay, that's not good. We're just gonna clap it and call it the game. And also, of course, 7M just had a rough game against PXP, where they, I mean, you felt that they weren't really able to do anything after making a few mistakes. Let's see how they recover here. Like, on a mentality standpoint, are they still going in full hype? Like, okay, we're gonna still clean it in the groups. We're at the underdog now, or are they hurt a little bit by that last game? We'll have to see how they do it.
Both teams, of course, gone 0-1. So both teams really wanted to pick up this win. It's going to be really important to pick that one up for both sides. If once again, if they do lose, if 7M loses and they end up against the Dutch community team, they're looking pretty strong. You know, if they lose against Sapphire, then 0-3 in groups isn't unrealistic, and that would just really be too bad for 7M. I don't think it's gonna happen, of course. They should be fine against Sapphire here. Of course, we said the same thing about PXP. So, you know, it's exciting stuff this time around. But, yeah, I mean, the draft is... Have we started yet? No, we haven't started yet. The draft has been made. Both teams still need to ready up here. And as we said, there's some interesting stuff could happen here on the side of Sapphire. They have things like Rek'Sai in the jungle, which isn't something that really gets played anymore. And of course, the crazy support things like Anivia, Ornn, and Sion support, which, as Bobo Joe said before, is something that gets played, or should get played, more often than not with something like a Senna.
I mean, look at G2,
combination.
Sion Senna. It was magnificent when they played in MSC.
It's a possibility, and yeah, it's just a thing that DAS doesn't really play that Senna really much at all, if at all even. So you know, crazy stuff could be going on here.
As they are getting ready for the draft, we are gonna see what they will eventually play. Everyone needs to ready up. We're gonna start a hype already. This time, hopefully not too much delay here. As they go for the second game, we said it before, it's super important that 7M is able to take this one home if they want to keep playing this qualifier this weekend.
It looks like the draft has indeed begun. Yes,
that one.
Ginster. Xin Zhao, Mr. gets banned by Sapphire along with Viego. We see the Echo and Silas being banned away. That means that both Akali and Gwen are still open. Vladimir taken away from Vinny. Thresh
banned. That means that there are no other supports for Zodra. He has to play something wonky now.
And then, of course, Sapphire now has to choose for either something wonky or Akali or Gwen, basically.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, Akali.
I mean, they play both.
Still super broken. I mean, they didn't really change that much on her. Did she even get nerfed in the latest patch?
I don't think she got anything, no.
No, I mean, Akali definitely gonna be an early pickup here, but not for Sapphire. They're choosing the Nocturne over Akali, and 7M probably not have to think too much
And
about
Gwen?
this one.
Maybe they go Akali and Gwen?
They
Could be.
They did lose with Gwen last game, so maybe their faith in the champion has had a little bit of a bump. Usually, when you lose a game, you're not really that fond on playing the champion again, unless you are like a one-trick. Especially if you didn't feel like you had an impact in any way. And Akali, solid pickup here. Definitely a good call for 7M to get that one.
Yeah, they're gonna follow it up with Ezreal, which Sono played in the last game as well. Did a decent job, of course not good enough to take home the win. As Nocturne, Galio, Shen. I feel like Sapphire might want to go for a global comp. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm not sure. I mean, they do have a global or 3 at the moment, and they have picked 3 champions, so it might be the case, and that is scary to play against, because basically anywhere you fight, you know you're outnumbered. Unless everyone picks TP on the side of 7am, but that is harsh, and I'm a little bit scared.
You can have 3 TPs on the side of 7M. TP on Ezreal isn't uncommon.
No, I know.
TP Akali and
you
then
can
TP
do it,
top
but
lane.
I mean, Shen and Galio probably gonna play with teleport as well. So eventually you're gonna be out globaled.
Out globalized.
You're getting out global, boy. Vladimir was banned, of course, for Vini, so he's gonna pick up the Akali probably, unless they're gonna swap it up to Elijah. Don't think that's gonna be the case. Ornn has been banned. They do recognize what Soda is able to play, and they really do not want to have that free Ornn scaling on the support for his whole team. And the engage is already scary for Sapphire. They could potentially opt for a hyper carry like a Vayne and just make sure that Shen can ulti that one. However, there aren't really any tanks on 7M. I'm not sure if they're gonna pick that one up, so Vayne might not be the champion that you want to pick up right now.
Yeah, not at this point really something he wants to pick up against the team on 7am.
Leona though.
Of course, with Leona it's possible. You can condemn her out of the way. You can do a lot of damage with your silver bolts. But yeah, Tristana Ornn being banned by 7am, so it's gonna be... They do pick up Jinx eventually. Of course, the rest was banned.
Oh, we got it! I mean, it could still...
Wait.
It could
still be Galio support.
Yeah, that's... I wanted
Or
to say
support.
it. You sneaked my comment. I wanted to say it could still be Galio support. They can still swap it around if they do not like the matchup against the Akali, or if 7M is gonna pick something wonky, but this is why we are looking at the Open Tour. We want to see some wacky picks, we want to see what these guys play, and
Wait.
this is not something troll. I mean,
No. They picked Xayah for 7am.
it's gonna be Ezreal top lane or mid lane. I mean, Ezreal is gonna solo lane.
Has to, right?
Yeah, it has to. I mean, Ezreal isn't a bad solo laner, but I do disrespect anyone that plays him on a top lane. Just saying. So
Elijah, you know what's coming.
you know what's coming. If you pick that one up, I mean, I'm not sure how biased I'm gonna be casting this game, but it's gonna be pretty biased.
It could be biased.
Could be biased, just saying. And yeah, but what I was saying, it's not just a troll pick, the Anivia. This guy, he just plays it a lot, so you can't really say, okay, he's just trolling this game. No, he knows what he's doing. This is one of his comfort picks. It is the Anivia. Does 7am know what is coming for them, or are they really gonna get bamboozled a win out of this game?
Imagine Sapphire picking this one up just because they have the Anivia, and it's weird. Ooh, Elijah is going to pick up the Akali, so we should be seeing Akali top. That means Ezreal goes towards the mid lane, and the disrespect is not going to come your way, Elijah. You have dodged a bullet there. You don't want Bobo Joe not respecting you. Well, I mean, you should not want it either. He's not that scary.
Yeah, well, what?
No. Got him.
Dang it. We can see in the normal draft that, yeah, Galio, of course, being picked up by Realistic, Elijah going Akali on the top lane, so everything is falling the way it should for this draft, if you can call this a normal draft with what has been picked up here by the support. I do wonder who has the best draft now. What draft would you give the edge here of these two teams?
I mean, it's another Jinx game. It's clearly a we have to protect the Jinx game as well. They have Galio ult to fly towards Jinx. They have Shen ult to go towards the Jinx as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on top of Jinx. Eventually, of course, 7M is going to want to pile onto the Jinx as well, because once she dies, there's a lot less damage on the side of Sapphire. Kind of depends on Anivia's build as well, I guess. If she goes for a normal damage build, which I'm expecting Anivia will build fairly normal. Or imagine Moonstone Anivia just taking the ult, healing his entire team. Giggity.
Is Taz gonna play with Cleanse? I feel like that is the way to go, because
Good.
7am doesn't really have the pile on comp. They have the engage with Leona, but of course Graves as Zaya, they're not gonna jump on Jinx or anything. They have Elijah that possibly could, but take into account you have a Galio and a Shen. Both gonna ult Jinx. You don't really want to stand next to her when that happens, because you're gonna get knocked up, you're gonna get taunted, you're gonna get killed. So Elijah gonna have a really tough job getting towards the target. However, they might not need to come into that danger zone after all, because when Leona hits the solar flare on Jinx, Ezreal can true shot barrage, Graves can do his collateral damage, Saya can potentially ult. They have good follow-up from a safe range on this engage, and they could bait the ults from the enemy with the Leona ult, or just blast everything and hope that they are able to get the kill. So we'll see if this is the answer that they didn't really have in the last game to shut down the Jinx, where they also had a really good peel comp, because yeah, how good is Anivia gonna be to peel for Jinx? Puts down the the ultimate below her, the wall,
right?
the stun. I mean, I also think it's okay. I mean, Freljord, always good CC.
Freljord always good to see. A lot of ice, a lot of freezes, a lot of stuns, a lot of slows coming in from the Freljord, of course. Yeah, a lot of peel here once again for Jinx. If they do decide to pile on Jinx, there's just going to be so much coming on top of you. Paranoia is going to be popped, which means that the rest of your team has a lot more difficulty to follow up on an engage, for example, if Leona decides to go in on Jinx. Then, of course, there's Galio with his Grand Entrance and Shen with... Is it Grand Entrance? Yes, I think it is. And then Shen with the Stand United as well. Yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult. And then if they decide to go for Anivia, then Jinx is going to start free hitting. I think if Sapphire plays it well, I like their comp more. But yeah, if they completely mess up, then 7M should be able to pick them off.
And it's also hard to say who has the better scaling, because, you know, I feel like in open tour, it does happen sometimes, but it doesn't happen most of the times, is that a team is actually able to finish off a team early enough if they get a lead. Usually teams are able to scale up, and then it is decided by who has the better scaling team or who has a super carry that is fed. That's basically what it comes down to most of the time. And if we look at these teams, you have the Jinx again, super scary late game, as well as their frontline in Galio Shen, Anivia even as support. Not sure what Zodra is gonna build, but if it's Liandra, it's gonna do so much damage. And Blarstar as well. Nocturne, however, maybe a little bit weaker now with the Stride Breaker nerf that has been coming through. So we'll have to see how he does that. But on the other side, you do have three 80 carries. 80 carry late game fest. I mean, that does a lot of damage. So, not sure who has the edge here.
Yeah, Zaya, Ezreal, and Graves all gonna do quite a lot of damage towards later in the game. Of course, Zaya really strong in the late game. Graves can just basically two-shot people eventually. Of course, you do have two fairly tanky members in the Shen and the Galio. Nocturne has the spell shield, so a little bit more difficult to take down as well, but should be fine. But there's just so much disruption on the side of Sapphire. And yeah, 7M just has... 7M has damage, and Sapphire has a team.
Exactly. But I mean, I feel like both drafts aren't really made for engage. However, maybe you could say that Sapphire is able to engage with that draft, but we'll have to see how they do it. On the side of 7M, they have the 3 carries that can probably kite the best. Vayne excluded, let's say. Ezreal super good to kite back. Xayah, amazing ultimate to kite back. And Graves as well with the dash, with the knockback from his own ultimate. They can peel back really well, but they don't have a front line. They only have Adamet to do that if it is necessary. And I just feel like if someone gets stunned by Anivia, if someone gets caught behind the wall, it's really hard to get them out if they are caught there. But we'll have to see. They have a lot of mobility. It's crazy. I can't really predict who is gonna take this one home.
That being said, we are on the rift for game 2 here between these two guys, these 10 guys basically, these two teams at least. Sapphire blue side versus Team 7am Academy on the red side. Both of them lost their first game. Sapphire lost to the Dutch community team. 7am losing their first game to PXP Esports after a little bit of a revenge victory for PXP there. We're onto the rift. Looks like there's... Galio, please move.
Galio,
Don't want
connect,
pots.
please.
Okay. Yeah, he got the Dark Seal and the refillable potion, so he should be fine. And Sapphire going for a little bit of a special cheese.
All right. I'll take some cheese. Oh, are they
Or
gonna get spotted? Oh, Sono.
Are they gonna wall?
No.
What's gonna happen?
Oh, no. It is the wall in the taunt. Ooh, flash immediately blown by Sono. That can be huge if Blarstar is gonna focus the bot lane. They have to play so safe.
Blarstar is such... the name is so weird to say. Blarstar. It's such a weird name. Anyways.
What do you mean?
Blarstar.
Blarstar.
I mean, it's weird, and you know it is. Yeah, Blarstar could potentially find some stuff in the... But, dude. Oh, wow. Ooh. That's gonna...
They're making the push. They're setting up the push for the wave. I mean, we're seeing some next level Anivia support strats here, though. Damn. And it is scary because Sono doesn't have flash anymore, does play with the cleanse, and Taz does not, as we might have thought that he would. Meaning Sono does have some way of escaping if Zodra is able to hit a stun. We'll see how it goes. Wave immediately in favor of Team Sapphire here. And Vinny on an 80 champion again in the mid lane. We'll see if he can CS as well as last game on Jace. Was pretty impressive.
He's already ahead. Of course, Ezreal in the mid lane with the auto attacks. Went for Doran's Blade, of course, and then the auto attacks are just gonna win him a lot of trades. On the other side, Galio has quite a lot of pushing power with his passive, and the Q to follow up to get the lane pushed in if necessary. But yeah, I feel Vinny should be fine here. Is it going to connect? Is it going to be enough? Shouldn't be at this point. Zodra is returning as much damage as he can. Also, by the way, Anivia went for Ignite. Don't see that too often.
I mean, in support role, I suppose. If you want to do it to an Ignite, usually the better choice. There's always also an Exhaust, so there is no heal in the bot lane at all. It was scary damage from Adamet and Sono, even with the Blade Caller at the end, but we'll have to see if they can do that again. And I do find it interesting that Zodra started with his wall, because I would have never started with the wall. I always would have started stun, but now we can see the Masters Anivia support playing it here, so probably better to listen to him.
I mean, he probably did it just for the lane in the beginning. I think he's played it more than enough to know how it actually works. So yeah, as you said, you should probably listen to him when it comes down to the Anivia support.
Meanwhile, Blarstar going to top lane, spotted Elijah there, but they not want to really face it right now. Bowie on top side. So just doing the full clears. I mean, 24 CS blow junglers there. keeping it safe, realistic, taking a lot of damage from Vinny here, but should not go down. However, that was very close.
Was really close. Flash auto attack could have maybe been enough to take down the kill, but Vinny doesn't decide to go for that, decides to go against it as another nice taunt here in the top lane. Elijah needs to be careful here. Look at the damage from Mighty One. One or two more auto attacks would have been enough, but also no flash from Mighty One. Would have just been responded to by Elijah's own flash, and might be able to set up a little slow push and then a little reset, not wasting his teleport. Akali needs to use his.
Yeah, Mighty is gonna have to use his teleport as well. Normally, if Elijah's gonna push it in, or he's gonna stay here. And that's the thing, Akali does really well against these squishy targets that you just can dance around, but Shen has a lot of damage mitigation with the shields and does a lot of damage himself as well, and that's something people often forget when they're playing against the Shen. I mean, those cross procs that you are not able to trade against most of the time, and he does a nice dash into the turret as well, making sure that Elijah takes a shot here. So yeah, Mighty One definitely trying to get some leads in this lane.
Now slow push coming in to the bottom lane by the guys on the side of Sapphire, and Vinny just out poking. Zap is gonna connect onto Zaya eventually because of the juke by Adamed. And look at the poke here from Vinny. He's just poking away realistics. Galio, he kind of wants to stay in lane. Ooh, flashes over the wall. Is it going to be enough? It's going to be Obi goes down himself though. Wow, that was so close. Stun going to land. It's going to be followed up by the traps from Jinx. Chompers not going off in time. And now another fight here in the top lane between Elijah and Mighty One. Elijah winning now.
I wonder if the play that Obi just set up, if that was blind, like he thought he was next to the turret and instantly wanted to hit him with the bug shot. But it was a little bit awkward since he was standing like a meter or two in front of his turret. Eventually Obi still managed to pick up that first blood money, but I mean, if I'm a mid laner and I see that, then I'm still not happy because I didn't get a kill. But, you know, he does 20 CS, I suppose. He's okay.
He should be fine. I mean, he's far behind in farm. Once again, Vinny showing us the ropes of how to farm in a game. Or at least just showing that he can farm, not necessarily showing us how to. Yeah, he's pulling ahead of his opponent, and Nocturne is 6, Galio is 6, Mighty One on Shen is 6, so we might start seeing some plays now.
Of course, these laning phases didn't mean anything before 6. Now the global comp from Sapphire is gonna start shining. Of course, Galio and Nocturne, they do need to be in a certain range to cast their ultimate, so it's not really possible for them to be everywhere at the same time. For Mighty One, that is a little bit different. Shen can reach everyone, anywhere with his ultimate, so he can potentially make a difference between a play that's going south for Sapphire or a win for them. So usually I would say get Taz fed, make sure that you make plays around the bot lane and basically do what we saw from PXP last game. You can be that nuisance that no one can kill. But for now they are playing it pretty standard, pretty slow, not really risking any big plays. Dragon also not been taken yet.
And there it is.
And there
the
it is.
Giggity. The first pause of the day.
The
Hopefully. Ah yes, halftime. 1-1 at halftime. Close game thus far. Understandable. Have a nice day. All right. So there's a pee break on the side of 7 AM. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, if you gotta go, you gotta go, I guess.
Yeah, I mean.
Wait, but why who doesn't have a bucket next to his desk?
I think
empty bottles.
I think I will have to let you be alone on that front, buddy.
No, don't, please.
No, it's fine. You can.
No, come back.
You can pull that card and play that game, but I'm not playing.
But you're the one who told me to do it.
No. Don't.
I have been bamboozled.
Don't bring me into this nasty story.
I have brought you into it already. You're halfway there.
Look, when I say no and you still go on, it's abuse.
Haha.
It's harassment. Stop.
It's harassment. Hashtag. Waiting for the P break to be over. And at this point, looking at the positions, maybe we're not allowed to talk about the positions because they could be watching the stream and we're not allowed to look.
Well,
So
it is.
you get faces.
You got some faces and potentially Bobic XP bucket to look at.
No, I don't have that. No, that's gross. I don't have it. Please. Yeah, it's the worst. Once again, Ezreal going for tier build. Expecting Patrona. Expecting lethality build, I guess. Once again, no. But I mean, he could go for the. He could go for Divine Sunder this game. Maybe he should go for Divine Sunder this game.
There is a big front line, but I'm just wondering when the engage comes in from the side of Sapphire, how they're gonna play around it, deal with it. I'm not sure if they have all the tools to do so, but we'll have to see as the games start again.
Yes, the break has been suspended. Of course, Riot, in its classic fashion, goes for a little
freeze.
Little freeze-a-rooney. Could
Nice.
take a couple seconds. Could take 15, 20, maybe even 30 seconds. Ooh, are we gonna go for a record?
I'm switching
for like
back
6 or
instantly
7.
because usually when I switch the screen to us,
It
the
is.
game works again. Aha! See, that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
So you have the power,
I have the power here.
but not that much power, because you're the weakling.
Well, you know, power corrupts people, so let's just not go there.
Let's just not go there. First Drake of the game is an Ocean. Both teams kind of hanging around here, looking to maybe pick this one up. Of course, there is the global pressure here from the side of Sapphire, so 7am can't really freely do anything like this. Doesn't look like they want to do it either, but that does mean that we're not going to have an Ocean Rift this game. Imagine the Mountain Rift on Sapphire, though.
Oof. That is some nasty tanky lineup, but you know, you have 3 AD carries for that, so you could say that they sort of countered it, but I'm just afraid that they're not gonna be able to melt the front line before Taz melts them, because he's gonna have a way easier job in getting to the carries eventually, because it's only Adamet that's standing between him and shooting every carry in the face. So, I mean, Elijah, I suppose. We'll see. I mean, Anivia are not bad against Kali with the ultimate that you can put down in the Shroud, really limiting the movement that Elijah can make there.
He can free hit the carries, but there's 4 of them. So, luckily, of course, Jinx is one of those carries where Runons works pretty well. And, yeah, then he can just hit all the carries at the same time. Throw in some crits there, and he should be completely fine. Quite a lot of AoE damage on the Jinx rockets, of course. And, yeah, still pulling ahead in the mid lane. Farm-wise, more than 20 CS ahead for Vinny here. Hitting that 10 CS per minute mark once again. Wouldn't expect anything less from him. And basically, on all fronts, the CS on the side of 7M is just better than Sapphire.
I'm happy that Sona has picked up Zaya as well, because you don't see the AD carry that much, even though I feel like she has a lot of potential, especially against hard engaged compositions, where she can just ult away, be untargetable, get out of that sticky situation. And also Zaya got a little buff in the latest patch. Q has been upped a little bit in damage, so we might be able to see that coming through here, even if you don't max it. And I mean, I want to make the poll here, because it's starting to look like the game from PXP at the start. Like, is this a Fiesta or is this a Siesta? And normally, if you see a game like this, you would say, yeah, Siesta, not many ganks, not many fights. But we do have the Anivia support, so does that not make it a little bit of a Fiesta?
I mean,
It's hard.
if this is the rest of the game, this is the way the rest of the game is gonna go, then Anivia is definitely not a Fiesta champion.
Possibly.
Because
Oh,
literally
here it
nothing-
is though, the globals.
in the gank. Sorry, not the gank. It's just the paranoia coming through. Finny is there as well. The kill goes towards Jinx, and that's perfect for Sapphire, of course, picking that one up for their carry, who is eventually gonna have to do it on basically his own.
Yeah, and they only used the Nocturne ult here. Blaster ulting in with the paranoia. Eventually, they are able
Nope.
to pick up the kill and Zordra might be in trouble. Shen ult.
Insane flash stun there by Zudra, and Sono is gonna go down eventually. Obi and Elijah are gonna come in. There was no more egg on the Anivia there, but they went really hard here for the Anivia kill, and now Elijah dashing once, twice, thrice. Cause Akali, sure, you know, whatever. 4 dashes in your kit. Giggity.
But they did remove the stun, so isn't that fair?
Perfect. Dash
Oh,
is gonna come
dash.
through here. Elijah. He is gonna go in eventually. Nice little bait there. Alamed eventually finding Jinx. He goes down, and now Mighty One might be in a little bit of trouble. Alamed is going relatively low. A lot of damage from Shen already, but a lot of CC, of course, from the Leona. Gets taunted. The teleport is gonna come in as well, as Alamed needs to flash out of that one. And the teleport from Gallo isn't going to do all that much. Realistic might be giving away another kill here to Elijah. Sodra is there as well. Stun going to come through, not going to connect. And Realistic being able to push away Elijah and Alamid from this lane. And yeah, eventually it's a win for 7am. They're up by almost 3k gold already.
Yeah, and I want to point out that fight, it starts off well. They first get a pick, of course, in the river with the Nocturne ult. Eventually, Shen is coming in with his Stand Unite on the bot lane. But that's the thing, once you've used your globals, you should back off as Sapphire, because that's your main strength. If you've used them and the fight is over, don't try to find something or commit when you see that, yeah, they're so mobile on the side of 7am. They are fighters after all, especially the Graves and the Akali. And you would say, yeah, Realistic didn't ult. No, he's pushed under his turret constantly by Vinny. Eventually he teleports, but he loses out on like a wave or two under the turret for it. So it's really hard to make plays when there is so much pressure on your lane. I mean, you can have a global all you want, but if you go away, you can say bye-bye to your CS.
And bottom lane, Sono fighting Mighty One. Doesn't look like Sono is going to be able to find the kill here. 1 or 2 more auto attack should be enough for Shen to pick that one up. Yes, he does. Thank you very much. Needs to be careful here, though. There's 3 people in his jungle. They could loop in behind him if he stays.
Yeah, the power of Shen, I mean, said it before, does so much damage, you don't want to mess with him, and he just solo kills Sono here, doesn't care. I will see what he's gonna build, you know, usually he does go for the Sapphire Aegis as a mythic item, and then you have some options. You can go really defensive, like for example the Random's Omen or anything like that, or you can go offensive with the Hydra, and then Shen just hits like a truck and he just doesn't die at all. So if he has a lead, he could go for it, and I said some for Aegis, but nope, it's the Frostfire Gauntlet again. They're gonna peel for that Jinx.
Yeah, not completely unexpected, of course, as Jinx is the one that's going to need to do basically all the damage on the side of Sapphire. At this point, 2-1-1, he's doing okay. He's getting close to finishing Gale Force or Kraken Slayer. I feel like Gale Force is definitely an option here. Doesn't really need the extra damage against the lineup of 7am. Only Leona going to be able to be tanky enough to take some damage there. So I'm expecting Gale Force, but you know, we never know. We never know.
Yes, we can see that Blaster actually did buy the Stridebreaker. Of course, Stridebreaker has been changed, no more dash, and its slow has been increased a lot. I feel like 90% slow for a second or something like that. So that does make that when he lands on his target, he can instantly slow him, and it's hard to go back. And we can see it in action right here as I talk about it. Can he get away?
Paranoia comes through. He already jumped away. Vinny is in a world of hurt, and he gets shut down by Blarstar with the double global coming through here. Obi gonna do
Ooh,
the
the damage!
which is gonna be enough. And now Sorofare gonna come through. Great spell shield there by Blarstar, escaping with his life. 1-for-1 trade.
Good return kill from Obi there, so necessary. And as we talked about it, we can see Barca going ill, slowing Vinny with the stride breaker, eventually making it that he cannot dodge down from Mighty One. Now Adamet gonna try to collapse on the bot lane. Can he hit the Zenith Blade?
Solar Flare is not up. Great juke by Zodra. He has the egg, of course. It is going to be popped, but it's not going to be enough to survive as Jinx is going to do some damage. Vinny is there as well for a little bit of damage. He's not going to find the
no
assist, however.
assist. That is sad. I mean, you waste the teleport, no assist. That stinks, man.
True shot barrage to push that one, and yeah, 7M is taking control over this game. Look at the CS numbers at this point. Everyone is, well, miles ahead of his lane counterpart, and a huge gold lead, 6k gold lead almost for 7am. They picked up the second Drake, the third Drake spawning in 2 minutes. It's going to be an Infernal Rift as well, which should be for 7am. Yeah, it's looking good for 7am to be picking up this game eventually.
Yeah, those damages that come out from these carries, they are big, and it is Obi that has 3 kills under his name right now.
3?
3? Drees?
Dree?
Drees?
He has 3 kills.
He has 3 kills.
Will you?
Yes. And of course Elijah as well, 2-0-1, has the Rift Maker as well, making it so that he can sustain quite a bit. The question is Elijah gonna try to split? I feel like that is really hard against all those globals, but he's probably gonna have to at some point counter Shen that is pushing the waves. Obi looking for bar. Blah, yeah, you got me. It's hard.
Ooh, I got him a little.
I just want to say Brawl Star because of the app.
Yes, which by the way is fantastic if you don't have to play Brawl Ball, because that's the worst. Flash here in the top lane by Mighty One as he gets chunked down really hard by Elijah's Akali, and once again showing that Akali is absolutely ban-worthy, and it's kind of weird that both teams didn't go for the ban here. Flash from Jinx necessary, because Obi is going to go. No, being used. Soul Flare goes down, is going to be enough. No, Stand United going to come through. Taz survives eventually with the help from his team, and now Adamet is going to be in a lot of trouble. Goes down eventually, not picking that one up. Stun is going to go down on Zodra. It's not going to be enough as he finds a return stun, and it's going to be a 1-for-0. Adamet goes down. Jinx went low, but got so much protection there.
I'm not sure if the Blade Caller was on cooldown, but I saw a huge ultimate from Sono, and I was thinking he's gonna destroy them all, but the Blade Caller was very, very late, so I believe it wasn't up yet, else that could have done potentially so much damage, but yeah, you said it, Taz, he just lives because of the Stand United. 7am can't reach it. It is a little bit of a deja vu towards last game. Obi, however, trying to find Blarstar after taking his own red. It's hit, but it's not enough.
Blarstar doesn't go down. It might be a double kill here though for Zaya. It's eventually Vinny picking that one up. It's going to be 2-for-1 in favor of 7am here, as I believe they stole a red buff as well. Ooh, that was close.
And the game is close. However, there is a 5k gold lead still for 7am. The dragon is up. It is an Infernal Rift. If they pick this one up, they are on soul point, and you know how impactful the Infernal Soul is for a game, especially when you have so many 80 carries on your team. I mean, they're gonna just love to put the damage down from the buff. However, maybe... What?
Paranoia comes through. They had a little bit of vision because of the scrying orb. It's going to be a still Blarstar taking that one. He's going to be able to get out of this one even by running over the freaking ward. He gets taken down, but the steal is there, and that means that 7am is not on soul point here.
That is so big. Blarstar, he just clutches it, of course. The jungler was not near to secure that objective, so it was a little bit greedy if they know that there's still vision from the enemy or not able to sweep it. And yeah, picking up that Drake, making sure that 7am does not have the power to really force an objective in 5 minutes from them, force an engage. Because you know, timing is everything this game. If the globals aren't up on the side of Sapphire, then 7am, they can win fights. If they are up, Taz is not gonna get touched. It's gonna be so hard to do anything, and also the zone control with Zodra as support is so big. If they fight in a corridor, it's really hard to move forward because of that Glacial Shroud.
It's going to be difficult for 7am, but I mean, they're pretty far ahead at this point. 6k gold, and as we said in the beginning, they just have a lot of damage. Triple 80 carry threat, Ezreal, Graves, Xayah, all three gonna be doing a lot of consistent damage. Of course, there's a decent front line on the side of Sapphire, able to tank up some damage, and if Taz is able to do his damage throughout those team fights, then you know it could be okay for Sapphire. But at this point, Jinx only has the Kraken Slayer finished as 7am starts up the Baron. There is vision for Sapphire though. Akali is in the bottom lane.
Doing it so fast, 380 carries, smacking at the Baron. It's already at 3.5k hit points. Taz trying to steal. Can he do that? Oh, he does it again!
Oh my god, Blarstar with the second steal of the game. 99 is gonna come through. They're gonna find the Baron. They're gonna find the kill. And now 7M needs to retaliate as Taz gets picked up out of position. They're way in the back of the team fight. Blarstar's gonna continue here onto Sono, but they go a little bit too greedy as the Mighty One is still alive. Automated is gonna go down. True Shot Barrage gonna come through. Egg gets popped, and now 7M can go for the chase because of the pop on the egg. Look at all those shots being blocked there by Shen. They need to run away from this one. It went a little bit too hard after the steal, but Blarstar, damn, bruh.
Oh my god, and yeah, it is a one fight for 7am, but eventually it's in favor of Sapphire, just because they secure the Baron. They have it on 2 people, still on Mighty One, unrealistic, so they can push with it if they want. However, the globals are down. Their key strength of the comp is not up, so do they want to risk sieging here, or are they going back into that split and wait for the cooldowns to be up again? But yeah, Blarstar, huge back-to-back steal on the objective, and I mean, if you're on the side of 7am now, you're starting to sweat, because both for 7am and for Sapphire, this is a must-win game. If you don't, then you're 0-2, and your chances in winning are very low, unless of course Dutch community team loses against PXP, then it's still possible for a 3-way tie, but I mean, you're not gonna bank on that. You really want to take this if you want to go to the round of 16 later today.
Yeah, 7M really needing to win this one. Sapphire of course has to do the same, but maybe there's a little bit more pressure on 7am as they failed to hit the round of 16 last week. They really want to find it this week. Sapphire is just looking for a win left or right to just improve on the previous week. So a little bit more pressure, and the damage is insane as this goes down. Vini just doing way too much. 4-1 and 2. Divine Thunderer and Muramana completed, and now the Solar Flare is going to come through. Paranoia being used to try and disengage him.
They get him.
Goes down really early. Now Blarstar going to go half HP. Stan United gets popped on top of him. Alamed is the focus once again. He's been going down a lot, but that doesn't matter because it's just the Leona, and your damage dealers are still alive. Mighty One trying to frontline this one at this point. He finds the taunt eventually. Is it going to be enough? No, the flash dash away from Ezreal.
Oh, the damage!
Damage realistic, not being able to survive that one goes down. Ezreal and his other... There's just 380 carries they followed, and they're not able to pick them up. They just face tank way too much damage, and inhibitor turret number 1 of the game goes down as well in favor of Team 7am Academy here. They're continuously pushing this lead that they already have.
And this is the strength for 7am. They have really good kite back 80 carries. We said it before. I mean, these are possibly one of the best 80 carries for a kite back comp.
Steal.
And of course, steal? Question. When Taz is down, there's not really anyone to trade on them. Those tanks will just walk forward and they kite them to death. So it's really hard if Taz is down to do anything if you are on the team of Sapphire. Right now, recap. 2 steals under the name of Blarstar. Huge play. They didn't do really anything with the Baron, because 7am just forced that fight in the mid lane, breaking open the base, returning back to the Dragon, picking it up, and are now on soul point for an Infernal Soul, which will spawn in 4.5 minutes. And of course, Sapphire, who is playing the map mostly with the globals, yeah, they will be forced to contest this next one, and that might be game deciding.
Meanwhile, the Dutch community team has beaten PXP, so they're on 2-0, PXP on 1-1, so this is definitely important for 7am. If they beat this one, they go to 1-1 as well, and then of course they have to beat Dutch community team on the last one, assuming PXP wins against Sapphire. And otherwise, they're out before the round of 16 again. True shot barrage flying through the mid lane, gonna connect onto 2 people.
So much damage on Zodra, that is crazy.
Look at that.
And I am surprised that Zodra went for the Ludens. I mean, okay, there are not many tanks on the side of 7am, but still, I feel like Leandri's the value is so crazy that you just build it mindlessly any game, but whatever, Zodra will know, I suppose. He is the Anivia support main, not me.
He's probably gonna know a little bit better. He went for Ludens, by the way, looking for Zhonya's next buy, it seems, or at least he went for a stopwatch here, as the siege from 7am has started here in the top lane. Meanwhile, Akali and Galio trying to battle it out in the other side of the map. 1 minute left before Baron spawns again. Paranoia is up, so if he keeps it for another minute, he might be able to find a steal if they have vision in the pit, which at this point they don't. It's gonna be really difficult for Sapphire to find vision, to put down vision, sorry, towards the Baron pit as well. True shot barrage coming in once again to push this
So
lane.
much damage on Taz already!
He is at 1 HP, and Paranoia gets used preemptively to basically make sure that Taz survives here.
Oh my god, the
And
damage.
the damage from Akali, meanwhile, in the top lane.
Oh,
The
Elijah.
rocket is going to come through. It's going to be enough. No, it's not going to be enough to take down Elijah as he dashes out of this one. He
Akali
goes
has
for
an
full
ult.
shot. There's going to be enough. Stand United going to come through. The stopwatch by Elijah, and it should be enough eventually with a double assist. Great flash there, going away from the solar flare. The turret is going to go down eventually for the likes of 7am. 4 seconds on Baron spawn. 7am should be able to take this one. Both Galio and Shen are going to base here. Galio still has his ultimate. Hero's entrance, sorry, is still up. Stand United and Paranoia both down. 7am doing this
so
really
fast.
quickly.
Is there another steal in the stars for blah 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 blah? Can he do it? I don't know.
Yes.
The question
Blah,
is no. Blah the blah doesn't make it. No.
Blar blar, where did you smite? He wasn't able to find the steal this time, but I mean, we have to cut him some slack. First of all, we don't expect him to make any steals, and second of all, he already has 2 to his name. Kind of like me. I mean, that's the only thing I'm good at. Stealing objectives.
Stealing. Is that what
Yes.
you put on your resume?
Of course it is.
I'm good at
What
stealing.
are you good at? Stealing from the enemy? Ah, cool. I mean, how is that not a good thing?
I mean, if you're signing up for some job in Russia, I suppose that is a good thing, but
Oh, whoa. Damn.
could be, you know.
Throwing the Russians under the bus. In Russia, bus throws you.
Yeah, exactly. On the Rift, 7am breaks your global comp.
Stop lying.
As they
comes
do,
Amber.
they do have an 8k gold lead now, though, and they are looking for that soul that is spawning in 45 seconds. Is Sapphire gonna be able to do anything against this test? Not as strong as he would like to be. However, one good coordinated play, they can get back in the game. But Vinny, the damage, too much. Taz is down. This might be game.
This could very well be game. They find Taz. They bring Zodra really low as well, so he needs to go back to base to heal up here. And with the Baron up minions, they're going to be knocking on the door of the base of Team Sapphire. Inhibitor is going to go down. Mid inhibitor is open, so they should be able to find this one as well. 7am really knocking hard here.
Solar
The
flare.
Solar flare is going to connect. Zodra is going to stopwatch here. Still has the egg. Is going to go low though. Egg gets popped. Egg goes down in basically 2 hits. Elijah, meanwhile, in the top lane, and flash stun comes through. Hero's entrance is going to be used here on Mighty One. Maybe not the one we want to use it on. It is. Well, it already happened. And now they're going to try to do whatever they can. Taz is going to go
So
lost.
much
And you know,
damage.
you saw look at him just jump into the back line. Realistic goes low. Realistic goes down. And 7am is going to be the one finding the very crucial and necessary win that they needed to stay alive in this group. Next up is the Dutch community team, which they need to win. And if they do, there's gonna be, and Sapphire loses to PXP, we have a 3-way tie. If Sapphire loses to PXP and 7M loses to Dutch community team, then 7M is out. So they really need to win and also probably hope that PXP loses to Sapphire. Don't really see that happening, but it could always be a three-way tie if 7M takes the next win.
Anyway, 7am, they take the win that they needed to get to make it out of the group, possibly, depending on what next game brings, but they are doing well, and that's the thing that we wanted to see. They played good against the global competition, which isn't that easy. I mean, they often throw people off just because you do not expect 3 people more to be where you are making a play. So they did it really well with a comp where I wasn't sure they would be able to pull it off, because I mean, you have good scaling AD carries, but if you're caught, you're dead, and that counts for all of them. They could have been run down, but Taz wasn't strong enough. So 7M takes the win, and Vinny making some good plays on that mid lane, showing that the coach can do it as well. Nice.
Coach Buff, let's go.
Coach Buff, let's go.
Does that mean he flies coach as well?
Answer in the chat.
Good answer.
Vinny.
Good
Do
answer.
you or do you not fly coach as a coach? While we wait for that answer, we're gonna go have a small break, and then we'll be back for the last game of this Group D, possibly if there are no tiebreakers, between 7M Academy and the so far undefeated Dutch community team.